Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today is about City Bus Manager, a game that I talk about a lot, but I seem to never record, except for today. On the 10th of November, this crazy person called Nicholas and his team at P2P released a great game called City Bus Manager. City Bus Manager is a bus manager / tycoon game where you can build your bus empire wherever in the world. You can build bus routes, paint buses, basically do whatever you want. But today I thought I would do a video about this game 1 year later. For this video of City Bus Manager 1 year later, I'll be giving you guys a review, my personal opinion on the game after its short time in this world, as well as go over the updates that have come about and how the updates have shaped City Bus Manager and how City Bus Manager shaped the bus community. Since City Bus Manager came out, it has had 5 content updates. The first content update having 10 new bus models added for the game, as well as adding China and Hong Kong as regions. When researching buses, you also had the ability to get region locked buses first. For example, if you were playing in the UK, you would get UK buses first. If you were in America, America buses first. Or if you were in Germany, Germany buses first. The next content update 2, came with a numerous of things. One of the main things being the shift schedule, which allowed you to automate your duties, which helped automation overall in the game. With every content update, this content update came with many bug fixes, as well as great performance improvements. You will notice this throughout many content updates that performance and bugs were fixed and improved. Content update number 3 came out. This introduced one really huge thing, bus modelling, which allowed the community to do bus modelling. That way more buses could come out more quicker, meaning we didn't have to depend on PDP themselves. We also had internet come to this content update and timetable changes, which allowed us to do custom times for timetables. As usual, there was bug fixes and performance improvements. There was also balancing to allow for numbers of passengers to not be so extreme. Content update number 4 came out with numerous features, some of the highlights being waypoints, which allowed you to bend and shape routes how you please, meaning that they didn't go down roads you didn't want them to. Then we had larger maps. Before you could only have 10 map extensions, now you can have 20 map extensions. As usual, they helped with performance, this time increasing the performance drastically. Before content update number 5, there was a modding contest in late June. This is where a bunch of people tried to make their best modded bus. There was only going to be 3 winners, announced in late July. The 3 winners will receive €50 Airsoft shop voucher, or they could get 2-day tickets for this year's Gamescom. The winners of the modding contest were Everposter, 70M and HE421. Content update 5 is currently the latest update as of recording this video. In this update, introduced virtual depots, automations and staff scheduling. Obviously the highlights being the external depots, which allowed you to build up to 15 virtual depots on your map. They can hold up to 100 additional buses. Then automation will allow staff to check buses and then make sure that they're cleaned, fueled and cleaned on the outside. Then you have staff scheduling, which allowed you to make sure your bus drivers weren't staying there 24/7, because obviously they've got wives and kids to go home to. Then they added parking space allocation, which was a huge thing City Bus Manager needed from day one, because buses would come in and park where the hell they wanted. What with parking space allocations, you were able to put the buses where you wanted them. You were also able to change the times on the service centre opening hours. which allowed you to run your service centre from whenever you wanted. Instead of 8 AM to 6 PM, you could run it from 9 AM to 2 PM, like most service centres in the UK. So that's it for the updates. Content update 6 is due to come very soon. However, I'm not going to make another video for content update 6. However, if you do want me to go over content updates for City Bus Manager every time they come out, then I'm happy to do that. You just tell me in the comments. Anyways, it's time for me to give my 1 year on review. When the City Bus Manager came out, I gave a review. It was harsh, but okay. Then I gave another review when I hit 100 hours, which currently sits on the Steam page of City Bus Manager. But for this video, I want to give a special 1 year on review. So to start off with, let's talk about building in City Bus Manager. Now this hasn't changed much since City Bus Manager came out. You place stuff down, stuff goes where you want it to. There's some loopholes to get what you want. But overall, City Bus Manager's building mechanics have been amazing. I give it an 8 out of 10. Routes in City Bus Manager. On day one, there were some issues, but when waypoints came out, doing routes was so much easier. However, there is still one issue, and that's with one-way systems, which to my knowledge, City Bus Manager can't fix because it's an OpenStreetMaps issue. Basically, in real life where there's bus lanes that are one way for cars, where it's 2 ways for buses but 1 way for cars, basically in game it'll pretend your bus is a car. But anyways, I give routes a 7 out of 10. Now buses. Since day one, the buses have been very slim, but ever since the community could mod buses, there's been so many that have come out. It has been amazing. The UK's top bus modder, Mr. Chips, is making great bus models almost every month. Like the models of E200 MMC, the E200, the Optare Solo, the Scania Omnicity, and so on. So since day one, there was not much, but ever since the community started making mods for them, it's been great. I give the buses an 8 out of 10. The community around City Bus Manager. Now most bus communities tend to be the most toxic place in the world. Examples stem from the bus community at Centro, the OMSI community, Facebook communities. They're all a bit mad. But City Bus Manager has been one of the communities that I've seen have barely any issues. I give the community a 9 out of 10. Now on to mods/repaints. Now I know I've just spoke about Mr. Chip's top quality models for the bussy section of the review, but there's other great modders as well, like 70M and ZuBoat, who make great models like the Streetlight, the Ride Gemini 3 and the Aurora. Now these may not be Mr. Chip's level quality, but they are still quite good. You've also got people who make great repaints, like Holwood, me, not to toot my own horn, and my god, there's many others. There's such a huge repaint community, and everyone makes great repaints. I'd have to write down a huge list to name them all. But overall, I give the mods and repaints of CBM a 9 out of 10. So now on to mechanics of City Bus Manager. The mechanics of City Bus Manager are very interesting. A lot of the mechanics of City Bus Manager are great, but when it comes to stuff like route creation, where you have to make your route in a circular fashion and you can't do inbound or outbound, it's a bit of a weird mechanic. But the way you make the routes other ways, great. How you buy buses, how you work the buses. It's all just, everything about City Bus Manager is basically great. There's only a few things I dislike. The mechanics of the game are about an 8 out of 10 though. Now onto the gameplay of City Bus Manager. Now this is one I could go on forever about. However, the gameplay of City Bus Manager very much depends on the person. Because obviously City Bus Manager is a tycoon slash like simulator game. And you gotta sit there for a while and probably let the game run before you do your next thing. It's very repetitive. The gameplay is good, but it gets boring after a while. I give City Bus Manager's gameplay 7 out of 10. Anyways, that's been my 1 year on review. Things to note about City Bus Manager: it's still in early access. Will it ever leave early access? Probably not for another year. You got to remember the people behind PDP, they're not doing this full time. The City Bus Manager is only one of two. No, it's their only game. They have a DLC on OMSI called Bus Company Simulator, but that defo doesn't rake in all the cash money. City Bus Manager might, but it's defo not a full-time profession at this current moment in time. Anyways, my 1 year on review overall is 8 out of 10. A huge pat on the back for Nicholas and his friends at PDP for making this game. I feel like I speak for everyone here in the City Bus Manager community that CBM is a game that we've been wanting for years. Anyways, I've been ZuBoat, everyone, and I will see you guys in the next video.